every team in the NFL has some concerns going into the season. Obviously, some teams have more concerns than others, and some teams, those concerns are kind of small. For example, the Chiefs, well, they don't really have any corners. Yeah, they have a stacked offense, but there's still something there that's on their back of their minds. We don't have any corners. They don't really have any linebackers either. The Ravens, well, their receivers aren't exactly too spectacular besides Marquise Brown. So, every team, no matter how good and stacked they all have concerns, and the Texans are no different. Now, as of late, I feel like I've talked about the Texans in a very good way, like over the last 2.5 weeks maybe. So today I'm dropping this video to kind of keep ourselves humbled, because just because I like all these things doesn't mean it's all sunshines and rainbows. There's definitely some concerns with this team going into the year, and today I'm going to give you my concerns going into the year. And keep in mind, I said my concerns because these are the things I'm concerned about. Just because I'm concerned about this thing doesn't mean you guys should be too. And you could have a totally different concern too, like maybe you think John Weeks is too old, and I'll call you crazy for that because John Weeks is just entering his prime in my opinion. So yeah, before we get to my concerns though, be sure to drop a like, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And yeah, let's get into my concerns for the Texans going into the 2020 season. Now, I have 6 on here, and I'm going to start off with the least concerning and build my way up to the most concerning in my opinion. And at number 6, I have young, inexperienced coordinators. We have Tim Kelly as the OC and Anthony Weaver as the DC. Now, I've said it before, I don't know how to feel about Tim Kelly yet. I have to kind of see it. And with Anthony Weaver, I just have a gut feeling that he's going to be good. And this gut feeling is just based on a gut feeling. It's not based on like any facts or anything, because we haven't seen him as a DC ever, and we haven't seen Tim Kelly as an OC ever, so we really can't base it off anything. I mean, for all we know, they're both going to go in there and be complete studs, but they can also like completely flop and be bad, or they can just be average, or it could be the complete opposite. I have a gut feeling Anthony Weaver's going to be good, but what if he sucks and it ends up being Tim Kelly the one being good? Now, this is definitely a concern, something like to keep on the back of your mind. Early on, things might not look so pretty. That's why in my prediction video, I had the Texans starting off 2-2. Because early on, things aren't going to click so well. But as the season progresses, I do expect things to get better. Now, the reason why this is like lower on my concerns list, it's because they have way too much talent to be complete flops in my opinion. The defense got way better in my opinion, and the offense, well, Tim Kelly has all these weapons to work with. He has a good offensive line. This is the most talented offense Deshaun Watson has ever had around him. Like, ever. So, if they fell, then I don't know what to tell them. Now, the defense does lack a little bit, so, I'm giving Anthony Weaver, a top 16 defense type of thing. If he's top 16, I'm satisfied. But Tim Kelly, with all that talent you have on offense, this offense better be like top 6, buddy. Anyways, moving on. My next concern is health. Now, in my opinion, the Texans have 4 players that are like major players on this team that I would consider injury prone. And that is JJ Watt. We love him, but we know he's injury prone. If he goes down, can we survive Watt going down? In my opinion, better than last year, but not quite yet. Yes, we got Ross Blacklock and we got Grenard, but they're rookies to, expect them to come in here and replace Watt's production and pressure rate is just unrealistic. And you guys know me, I love Ross Blacklock. So yeah, the next guy, Will Fuller. You guys know me, I love Will Fuller, but if he were to go down, can we replace his production? With the addition of Brandon Cooks, I think we can, but still, that's a talented receiver that you lost, so it's definitely going to hurt us in a way because we'd have 2 elite threats with him and Cooks out there. We'd only have 1 with Brandon Cooks out there if Will Fuller's out. And then the next guy, Dylan Cole. Dylan Cole is our coverage linebacker. Dude's injury prone AF. If he gets hurt, then we might have to see McKinney in coverage again, and that's not something I want to see. And the last guy I consider injury prone on this team is David Johnson. If David goes down, I think the Texans have by far the worst running back room in the NFL. And don't get me wrong, I love Duke Johnson, but it would just be Duke Johnson. Do you trust anyone else on this running back room? I personally don't. And by the way, my friend Duck, Views of Phoenix, dropped a video on who the Texans' third running back should be. I definitely suggest you guys go check that out. It's a quick little 4-minute video. I'm going to put it on the top of the description, so you guys go check that out after you're done watching this video and show him some love, sub to him, and yeah, but other than those 4 guys, I don't think anyone else on this Texans team is really considered injury prone. Maybe Kiki, but I have a personal rule about a 3-year rule. If Kiki gets hurt again this year, then I'd consider him injury prone, but if he doesn't, then I wouldn't consider him injury prone. So that's my own personal rule, I guess you could say. But I mean, even then, I wouldn't consider Kiki QT a huge, I guess, role player on this team. He's the 5th wide receiver. But yeah, everyone else, in my opinion, is good health-wise. But these 4 players, they're all high snap players. And if they go down, I think, there should be some concerns. Now, the next concern on my list is third running back. Because like I said about David Johnson, he's injury prone. And if he were to go down, our running back room is one of the worst in the NFL. No offense to Duke Johnson, because I love him. Let me just say that again. Because after that, we have no one. So the Texans really need to figure out who that third running back's going to be. Like I said, go watch my friend Rising Phoenix's video, or Views of Phoenix, he changed his name now. Go watch his video and see what he has to say about the situation. Now, coming in at the third biggest concern on this team is inside linebacker depth. Like I said, it goes with the health thing. Dylan Cole, I mean, has he even finished the season? What's the most amount of games he's played in the season? Maybe 8? I really don't know. But, yeah. Dylan Cole and Cunningham can be our coverage backers in certain situations. We do not want Benardrick McKinney out there. That's why it's very important to find, I guess you could say, a 4th inside linebacker. I don't trust Peter Colombayi or Tyrell Adams. I trust Dylan Cole, but I don't trust Dylan Cole to stay healthy. And you do not want McKinney out there in coverage. Let me just repeat that, because yikes. Cunningham, I can trust. Cole, he's not going to stay healthy. I mean, I'm sorry. Hate to say it. He's a nice player when he's on the field, but I don't trust him staying on the field. So we need to find another linebacker, in my opinion, or quite possibly a very nice physical run support box safety, Eric Reed. And as for my number 2 concern, it's safety opposite of Justin Reed. Now, if the Texans were to bring in Eric Reed, this would still be my number 2 concern. Because Eric Reid is not a safety you want back there deep in coverage. He's a box safety. He's essentially another linebacker. I need a safety I can trust opposite of Justin Reid. I do not trust Eric Murray. I have not seen enough of Eric Murray play to actually trust him. I trusted Gibson. Eric Murray, I can't say I trust him. Now, obviously Justin Reid, he's a stud, but Reid can't do it all himself. Now, there is a chance that Eric Murray could come out here and actually end up being a decent safety. Like, he just has to be average. That's all I'm asking for. Like, we don't need Ed Reed back there. We don't. We just need someone to be average, someone you can trust back there, someone you can trust not to allow huge plays consistently. And with Eric Murray, I just don't know if I can trust him. So I would feel really comfortable if the Texans went to go out there and get a safety that can play coverage. Like, just stay back there and chill and don't allow any big plays. We had that with Andre Howe, but his retirement kind of ruined everything. And Justin Reid can do it, but, like I said, Reid can't do it all himself, and he can't be the only one back there doing it all the damn time, So we need someone back there that we can trust. And, like I said, Eric Murray might end up being it, but going into the season, I just have not seen enough of Eric Murray to say that I'm not concerned. So I am definitely concerned at the safety spot opposite Justin Reid. And now the biggest concern going into the season is Bill O'Brien's involvement. Now, a lot of people will say Bill O'Brien's play calling is the issue, and I don't think that was the issue. I think the biggest issue was the game planning. So, in other words, the game was already lost before the game even started. And I've been saying this the whole off season. Like, if you watch games like the first Chiefs game, you watch games like the Falcons game, the Patriots game, the second Jaguars game, what the Texans offense was able to do was just absolutely beautiful. They went in there, they executed their game plans, and they just won the game pretty easily, in my opinion. But then you got other games like the Panthers game, the Ravens game, the Broncos game, where like you just watch that and you're like, what in the world was the game plan? What were the Texans even trying to do this game? Because if you watch it, like, there was no plan at all, like, from what it looks like, or the plan was very bad. So you could even say those games were lost before the game even started. So I don't think play calling is the issue. I think it's game planning. I think game planning is O'Brien's biggest issue. And he gave the play calling to Tim Kelly. So for everyone that's saying play calling is his biggest issue, then the concerns stop right there, because Tim Kelly will be the one calling the plays now. But for someone like me that thinks it's the game planning, I'm still concerned, because how involved will O'Brien be with the game planning? Obviously, he's going to be involved somewhat because he's the head coach, and that's okay because he's a head coach. But is he going to be able to go in there and be like, you know what, scrap that, do this instead? Nope, that sucks, F you. Do this. And I forgot where I heard it, but it was definitely someone on the radio. They had said that Bill O'Brien would go in there last year and change the game plan, like around late into the week, like Friday or Saturday. He'd go in there and change the game plan that Tim Kelly and Deshaun Watson were already working on. Is he still going to be doing that? Because if he's still doing that, then I think we'll see the same inconsistent Texans that we saw last year. If he's going to let Tim Kelly and Deshaun Watson do most of the game planning, then, maybe we'll be alright, but we'll see. Like, this whole thing is a wait and see type of thing, because we just don't know how involved Bill O'Brien will be with the game planning. I'm kind of hoping O'Brien just takes a step back and kind of goes with the Mike Vrabel approach. Remember when Mike Vrabel was here as our DC, he was absolutely trash, but then he went to Tennessee and actually did a decent job as a head coach? Well, the reason for that is because Mike Vrabel took a step back, he let his defensive coordinator call the plays, and he didn't touch the defense, like, not that much. Like, maybe he worked with the players here and there, like, with the positions, but he didn't call the plays. He's actually back to calling plays this year, so you can expect the Tennessee defense to take a huge nosedive, by the way, so, just throwing it out there. But, yeah, hopefully O'Brien just lets Tim Kelly do his thing, like, he gives them full control. I already know O'Brien's not going to be involved with the defense. I mean, he's been letting Cornell do his thing on defense. He didn't ever touch the defense, so I trust O'Brien to let Weaver do his thing on defense. It's really the offense that I'm concerned with. So hopefully O'Brien lets Tim Kelly do his own thing and, maybe, give a little insight here and there. I don't mind that because he is a head coach, but let your coordinators coordinate, And yeah, those are my biggest concerns for the Texans going into the 2020 NFL season. Comment down below your own concerns and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.